Here, let's take a look at something that I was glad to get in the package, although I paid a pretty dime for it. I don't see the sticker price. There it is. I paid $10 for this. I'm not sure what those numbers mean, but I think she's supposed to take the sticker off of it. But I got this at Red Gator Pawn Shop over at oh my gosh, Sunset Beach. Why am I saying Surf City Beach? Sunset Beach or Ocean Isle is halfway between either one. But this is from the 90s. I had this back in the day. Now, I went ahead and paid $10 for it because even though I paid $3.33 back in the 90s for it, I'm pretty sure after Bidenomics, that's the same price. This is probably actually cheaper than what $3.33 was back then. On the back, we have a lot of figures you can get for the X-Force collection. I plan to get every one of these again, even the ones I don't like Kroll, Shatterstar Fire. Every time I see Shatterstar, I think of Shatterstar Fire. I really like CommCast. Every time I see him on eBay, though, he never has that flying thing, and that's one of the reasons I bought this one over some of the other ones she had there. So, CommCast. Snap CommCast feet onto the hovercraft, hands on the steering column. Something just flew in my mouth. Steering column pivots and bends, and he's always ready for action. Now, who is CommCast? Because I don't remember him, to be honest with you, and I don't read X-Force comics. I do read X-Men sometimes, but I haven't read that far into X-Men yet, not into the 90s. This was from whenever the cartoons were popular back in the 90s. This was from 1994, as we see right there, by Toy Biz. I'm going back and buying the old toys. I like them better. I'm just tired of 6-inch stuff, and I know you're thinking it's just the inch difference. I think I did the math, and I think that a 5-inch figure is 1/3 the volume of a 6-inch figure. I think that's what I did. All you got to do is do 5 cubed and 6 cubed, and then do the math. I don't want to sit here and talk about it too much. I know I can do this, but I don't want to do it right now. CommCast. So who is CommCast? He's a technological wizard. CommCast lets the keyboard do the fighting for him. So he's one of those guys on the internet that's always arguing with you every little thing. This is before the internet, though. So I guess he's ready for arguing with you on the internet. Oh man, I already hate this character now. Not only can he access virtually any information in the world within seconds, but this cyberpunk, was there an internet back in 1994? I find that hard to believe. I know I didn't hear of it until like 97. And even then I did not accept it. I was like, it's not worth $10 a month for whatever that is. All right, so back to the information here. But this cyberpunk hacker, he doesn't look cyberpunk to me, has an arsenal of high-tech weaponry available via his computer. So that's kind of like whenever they beam down the weapons from the spaceship on Centurions. Okay, disdaining physical combat, so he's a pacifist when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. CommCast uses knowledge as his weapon. I kind of like that. Of trade, usually allowing others to fight his battles for him. Oh, so he's a user. While overseeing the action from a safe distance. Oh, he's a wimp. Still, when the action gets too close for comfort, CommCast and his hover disk have taken down many an overconfident foe. All right, so yeah, this is a great era for this toy line. The very first ones they made, they were okay. I see they never did really beef up Storm for like the first 15 incarnations of her. So taking him off the thing, I just had something fly in my face. It's windy out here, but now the bugs are starting to come out. Marvel t-shirt. Oh, I wonder if I can fit it. All right, mutant hunting hovercraft. So he's actually a mutant hunter. He's not a mutant himself, even though it says the evil mutants. Ironic, isn't it? He's an evil mutant hunter. So I don't know if he's a mutant now. I need some contradictory information. I definitely want to keep the card back. I definitely don't want to keep this plastic shell. He has a interesting blaster. Since it's weighing, I'm going to put that over there, secure it. So let's take a look at that blaster. Let's take a look at CommCast. Now, he has been on this board for over 30 years. All right, also what is in the package. if you want to order the t-shirt. Now, you notice there's no website on here because this is the days before the internet. I guess the internet was out there for like the government, and we, you know, I remember, what was it called? Bulletin board systems, BBSs or something. And I remember one of my friends got into those all the time to download like Doom and other games. I was like, nah, I'm not waiting 4 hours just to play a game. That's stupid. So we got a card that unfortunately the sticker left residue on, but it's the 1984 Fleer Ultra cards, the great cards. Mirage, superheroes. I love Mirage. She's the Native American from the New Mutants. Okay, so I might do a short on that later. Right, back to CommCast is who we're here to see today. So I hope his did not get sticky. I just thought about that. Sometimes they do get sticky. No, he's okay. I thought he was going to be sticky at first. But let's see if I can get his hands off of that. Because hopefully, I don't know if his hands are painted. Like, clearly yellow has been painted on. The silver's been painted on. I'm hoping it's been pressed in the black. But usually they don't press in the darker colors because it's really hard to paint over them. So it might be everything's painted on top of white plastic. Let's see. So his surfboard thing, Madab, it's got the holes in the bottom. And you can fold it up to store it easier. Okay, let's take a look at CommCast himself. He's got 5 points of articulation, yea, verily 9. His regular 5 POA, shoulders, you know, pelvis and head, but he's got the joints in the elbows, which go 90 degrees. And for his legs, they also go 90 degrees. Now these legs look a lot like some of the other Brotherhood of Evil mutants. They probably used them on those. We got 1994 on his leg, and a place to store his weapon right there. So I'm trying to figure out if he's actually painted black onto different color plastic, but I don't see, like, you know, normally if you move it enough you can see that there's a color in between. I don't see that on him. On his back, it's gotten some like silver over time. Since it's got that metallics thing in there, it's going to melt a little bit when it's up against something like the card back. So I'm sure that's why that's a little bit melted from just laying up against it. I like how the legs are chunky and amorphic almost. Sloppy paint job. Those Chinese kids need to do better than that. Alright, so he can sit down all the way. Let's see. Oh, his left leg. Oh, it's just a little stiff from being. He's really old, you know, like me and you. Alright, so he could sit down like he's using the bathroom. He can stand up. All around, great looking figure. I'm glad he came out well. I'm glad he didn't fall apart in my hands, because that can happen if you've got McFarlane figures from the 90s. Might as well just leave them in the package and pray they don't just turn to dust inside the package. Those things were a piece of crap now, unfortunately. Alright, so this thing, I always wonder, like, some of the parts on it made me think it connects to something else. Alright, so we got his feet going back on here. And we got hands going back on the thing. Alright, so there is a joint right here with a metal pin going through it. And this is just plastic, you know, stuck down in there and pinned. There's not a metal pin in there. So there's a little bit more articulation on those things in case you want to move it around a little bit. You know, in case it's a hard time getting it on there. Alright, well, I've added CommCast to my now growing Toy Biz collection. I'm glad I got it from this, because if you find on eBay, sometimes these things are broken off. This is almost never going to be there. And of course, you're never going to get that gun. Now I've gotten another figure, and I'm pretty sure it was a cable figure that come with a leg like that, it seems like. I was looking for a cable with a fat left leg. Or somebody else, like right on his left leg. I know I've gotten one of these before. That looks like the same gun. Sorry, I'm studying really carefully here, all these figures. I don't see anybody in this one, but that doesn't mean they didn't use it later. So what's the next one that you would get if you got this one and you look at the back, like, oh, see, I used to use this as a checklist back in the day. So that's another reason like this. Not that I'm going to cut it up and use it as a checklist, but I did like using these as checklist. Richter's a really cool figure. I had him. I like all three of these. I love this cable. I think this is the one I used the Anubis head on and made him into a guy from, like, the Anubis head from Stargate, the Stargate figures. That's a good cable figure. That's an okay cannonball figure. That's another good cable figure. So my favorites are those. Somebody his head, he just looked like he was melting. I never did like the way they made him. They could have done a better job. That's a good figure. I never really liked that one. I like that figure a lot. Extreme. I thought he was Executioner. Silver Samurai, you could barely get any movement out of him, but he looks good. Beast is a good figure. I don't know who this is, but he has this clear armor that goes on him that looks pretty cool. This is one of my favorite figures. I love being able to make his arms pop off, and he comes with 2 sets of arms. This is a great Apocalypse. The first Apocalypse was awful. Great Bishop figure. Great Omega Red figure. I never had Strong Guy. I had this Rogue. I had a later one too that had the coat that came off or something. It was a little bit different. Oh, it was Robot Fighters. That's what it was. I have this Raza. So yeah, these are all fantastic. All these, and I always wanted to get an army of these, the Brood. So let me know in the comments which one have you gotten from this collection, or which ones did you have. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.